KT was the, I guess, proposed starting quarterback before Joe Moorhead came in. Joe Moorhead's first season, we knew when Nick Fitzgerald was healthy, he was going to play. But I expected him to let KT play because he was a quarterback of the future. Unfortunately, KT didn't leave the bench much in Joe Moorhead's first season. So after Nick Fitzgerald is gone, it's KT's job to lose. Maiden is there. I think Garret Shrader was he here in the spring? I can't remember. That escapes me.
Yeah, I think he got to come in the spring.
So then Tommy Stevens transfers. And they have this battle where they're going back and forth. And everybody says, oh, Tommy Stevens is the next great coming of a great quarterback. He's very below average quarterback. He's decent, but he's very below average. That's just the honest to God truth. Can't stay healthy. Fumbles the ball, throws interceptions, tries to run instead of going through his progressions. I mean, he's a below average quarterback. That's just the bottom line. He did have a pretty decent season. I think he threw more touchdowns and interceptions to end the season, but still lackluster. Wasn't efficient. Couldn't stay healthy. Garret Shrader enters, plays okay. But KT didn't get a chance to play quarterback at all this year. Rumors that he was injured. But he played in the Egg Bowl at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So he's healthy enough to go out there and try and catch a pass or be a decoy, but he's not healthy enough to play quarterback when we're having struggles at the position. Yeah, if I were KT with all this smoke and fire, I would be ready to get the hell out of Starkville. Get the hell on. He has 2 more years to play. I would love to see him stay if we make a change at quarterback, but he already knows that Joe Moorhead's quarterback, he's not going to start. The only way he's going to play is if Garret Shrader's hurt. That's just bottom line. Keaton Thompson is in Joe Moorhead's eyes, is just an emergency quarterback. And he's not viewed as
he's not an emergency quarterback.
Huh?
Hell, he's not even an emergency quarterback. We got Logan Burnett was going to take us.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah. Well, he's gone. He transferred to TCU. But if I were KT, I would get the hell on. I would go get me a fresh start somewhere. I got 2 more years to play college football. And while he probably loves Mississippi State, just like the wide receiver that left and went to Western Michigan, played in a bowl game. Can't remember his name. It's slot receiver. You can have success in another destination. I mean, look at all the transfer quarterbacks in college football that have had success. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. Now KT is no Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow, but he is talented.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So he could go somewhere and have success. Yeah, he can go somewhere and have success. I would get the hell on. What you think about KT?
I just feel so bad for him this year. I know, they had the quarterback battle was going on all going into football season, and then somehow Tommy got it. And mysteriously, after all that, KT's hurt, and then he leaves the program, and then he comes back, and then we never see him. And it's always the upper body injury, upper body injury, blah, 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 blah. Like you said, we finally see him in the ball, and he plays wide receiver. And then, okay, so he's healthy, right? That's what we're getting at. We're thinking, okay, he's healthy. So now we go into the bowl game, and we done got one guy that's out here playing Rocky, and he loses. So now we're at Tommy Stevens. And there were many times when I was watching the game going, oh, we're going to pull Tommy at any time now and try KT out. Let's try something new. No, he keeps beating a dead horse. He's riding the Tommy train all the way through. And that was the same thing last year when Nick was looking bad or whatever. It's like, oh, can we throw KT in there? Okay. Can we see what's the backup quarterback is always the most popular player on the team. And now KT's like went from backup to third, fourth string. I don't even know which string he's in. I don't even know the QB rotation anymore. Like I said, he's a wide receiver now. So what's going on there? I would for him. I really thought when we saw a walk transfer and he went to Nicholas State, I thought, we had talked about it many times in the show that they would probably transfer together and go play together since they grew up together and probably go back to a small school back home and play. And, signing day came and went. KT's still here. Logan Burnett says he's transferring to TCU because of the graduate program. It's not because he's going to play football at TCU. It's because the graduate program he's wanting to get into is now offering State, now offering TCU. So he's going to go, be a QB also down there, walk on or whatever it will be. So Keaton gives him a shout out since he's going to listen in the QB rooms. So that makes you think maybe he's going to stay. I mean, we really don't have a backup quarterback. See Garret Shrader if he stays, depending on what happens with all these coaching changes. So my personal opinion is let's see what happens in the next few days, where this goes. And, if Napier comes in or whoever, Joe Judge, or whoever we bring in, if Joe Mo leaves, there's going to be another QB battle. There's a chance that Shrader leaves because he came for Joe Mo and his style offense. Will he stay for somebody's offense? That's a big thing with when Mullen was a run-first team. Joe Mo comes in as a pass-first guy. And it just didn't mesh well. So it's all going to depend on who comes as a QB. Do you want a Keaton that can pass and run, or do you want a Garret Shrader that's more of an option that everybody says he can pass, but the stats didn't really say too much. His stats, truthfully, were right about the same thing as Tommy Stevens, even though we gave Shrader a lot more praise than Tommy did. So if I'm KT, it's already January, so you either got to hurry and get out of school or you got to sit out again. So my personal opinion, see what happens the next few days, and then go into spring practice and try to fight for your job if you have a new coach. So that's just my KT.
I think KT's going to graduate, so he wouldn't have to sit out. So he would be a graduate transfer with 2 years left to play.
I didn't think he graduated already, but that would be interesting.
I guess we'll have to look in to see if he is a graduate transfer. But all right, the incomparable Kylin Hill. Kylin Hill was set to break the Mississippi State single-season rushing record in this bowl game. Unfortunately, an injury cost him that opportunity, and he ends this season injured, not at 100%. He did try to come back and gut it out, but unfortunately, he was less than 100%, which he stated on social media several times that he was not 100% most of the season, and he battered it out as best he could. I like Kylin Hill. I think he's a bona fide superstar. But he needs to get the hell on to the NFL, preferably for our Chiefs. There is nothing he can do really in my opinion, to improve his draft stock. He is who he is. He's an athletic runner, and he has the ability to catch the ball out the backfield. He does have the ability to return kicks, even though he did not return kicks in college. He did in high school, ran a couple back for touchdowns. So he gives you a in-between-the-tackles runner, a threat out the backfield, and the special teams impact. Someone will utilize him in the NFL. You have injuries happen all the time, So look, there's a young man who I've been a fan of for a while from Zachary, Louisiana, Boston Scott out of Louisiana Tech. He signed with the Saints, had a good year in the preseason. Saints cut him. He's now with the Eagles. Balling. Ran all over the Cowboys. In the last Eagles game, ran all over that squad. I know he wants to be your first, second, third round pick, but that matters in money. But you can outplay your contract and demand a better contract if you just outperform it. You know what I'm saying? So he needs to get the hell on to the NFL. What you think about Kylin?
I've always said as running back, you got a limited amount of hits that you can take. Most running backs don't make it more than 2.5 years in the NFL, and they definitely don't make it past their age 30 in the NFL. So, like me and you both say, I think we both agree that he needs to get to the NFL and make that money to take care of his family and all that stuff and to better himself. I don't know how much more he can do at the college level. It does suck that you end your college level at the way he did in that bowl game. So it also has in your mind that, hey, maybe I can come back. Now, the only thing that's crazy about this year is there's a lot of running backs coming out in this draft. And depending on where you look, running backs are not the huge need anymore as a workhorse. So does he benefit for coming back another year? Does he pad his stats for more? Does he somehow jump up the board because all these other studs that are leaving are gone? Cam Akers is leaving. We've got the Wisconsin running back. We've got the Oklahoma State running back. There's so many of them out there that, like you said, it doesn't matter where you fall. As long as you can make the team and you fall to a team that can utilize your skills, i.e. the Chiefs, hopefully, you can make your money in the long run. It's just, especially with the dumpster fire we got going on, I don't know how you could look at really coming back. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I think you need to go chase your dream in the NFL. If you want to come back, hey, that means maybe another win or extra 2 in the win column because we know he's basically the MVP of the team. So, and then last but not least, we can talk about Willie Gay Jr. See what
Paulo. A lot of people want Willie Gay dismissed from the team because of the fight. They feel like his punch to Garret Shrader's over the bone is one of the reasons why we may have lost this game because Garret Shrader was not playing and he's just a better player than Tommy Stevens. A lot of people feel like Willie Gay may try to test the NFL waters because he has that type of talent. I don't want Willie Gay suspended, and I don't think he's ready for the NFL. He's only played in 4 games of this season. While he was impactful in those games, he also has a lot of growing up to do. Outside of the fight, playing the game of football between the ears, playing it without getting penalized, playing the game without getting kicked out of the game. He has a lot of work to do to become a bona fide NFL linebacker. Not saying that if he declared, someone would possibly take a flyer on him in the later rounds. He's not a first-round pick right now, second-round pick, third-round pick, fourth-round pick, sixth-round pick. Willie Gay would possibly be a 7th-round pick, possibly undrafted free agent. He would be one of the most talented undrafted free agents ever if that were to happen. He has the talent. He's just not ready mentally. He's just not. He's shown that by everything that has occurred this year. I like Willie Gay. I think he's an outstanding talent, but he needs a full year of starting to showcase that he can play the game of football within the rules. Not gonna say he not commit penalties, but he had so many personal fouls. I mean, he probably was top 5 in personal fouls and only played in 4 games. How can you almost lead the team in personal fouls and you only play in 4 games? No, you're not ready for no NFL. Go to school, graduate, play your senior year, ball out on the field, play within the rules, go to the combine and smoke it. Then you can go to the NFL. So, what do you think about Gay?
Start for native, start for home for both of us had that in common. I hear he's a good kid, good as in everything around him, but I've also heard he's a very hot-headed kid that you can't tell him when he does something wrong. There's not a whole lot of tape out there on Willie Gay's NFL. Like, I know he's submitting his requesting